Celebrating 200 years in the River City, Jacksonville's history has some memorable highs and lows. Out of the lows of the 1950s and 60s, voters decided on a radical change to local government.
It's what gave the city the nickname the Bold City. Author Chris Hand sat down with News4Jax anchor Kent Justice to explain how consolidated government came into existence in Duval County.
Because a series of challenges that the community was having in the mid-1960s, local leaders decided that something needed to change. There needed to be a reform in government. That reform was taking what had been the city of Jacksonville and what had been the separate Duval County government and merging them into a single consolidated government. So if you live in Jacksonville, anywhere you live in Duval County, you're part of the city of Jacksonville because it is both the city and the county government.
Why did that happen? We talked about there were some challenges going on there, but hey, challenges will be solved by. That was the idea. How does this solve some of those challenges from the 1960s?
Well, you have to go back, Kent, and remember what was happening during that period of time. Very difficult period in Jacksonville's history. The school system had been disaccredited. There had been multiple elected officials who were indicted on corruption issues. The St. Johns River was seen as, very concerningly polluted during that period of time. Local government was seen as bureaucratic. There were not only, for example, there was a Jacksonville City Council, but there separately, there were city commissioners as well as a county commission, and there were a variety of budget issues as well. So there was just this confluence of a number of challenges, and that sort of generated a real spirit of reform in government and a desire to make government more efficient and more effective. And the way they decided to do that was to put it to the voters to see how they felt about merging the city and county government. And overwhelmingly, on August 8th, 1967, the voters chose to create the consolidated city of Jacksonville.
Because we get to look back and do a little analysis. Did it solve the problems that were there, and has it lived up to the billing of those voters those many years ago who said, yes, this is for Jacksonville?
Well, I think the answer is yes and no. Yes, in the sense that I think it created a more efficient governmental structure. Kent, if you go to other places in Florida, for example, both Miami-Dade County and Broward County each have more than 30 different municipalities in those counties in addition to their county governments. Well, here in Jacksonville, the buck stops in one place, at the city of Jacksonville. There's a single government, both city and county. If one wants to do business with local government in Jacksonville, it's very clear where that has to happen. So from an efficiency and an accountability standpoint, I think in many ways, yes, that promise has been fulfilled. But in other ways, it has not. As part of that consolidation campaign that took place 55 years ago this year in 1967, promises were made to many Jacksonville neighborhoods saying that, look, if consolidation passes, you might lose some political power and some political influence, but you're going to gain better infrastructure, paved streets. We're going to replace septic tanks and put you on city water, deal with other issues like that. And for many of those neighborhoods over the last 55 years, those promises that were made in 1967 haven't been fulfilled over that period. So there is still promise yet to be fulfilled to make sure that the benefits of consolidation reach everybody in this entire community.
We will talk more about consolidated government on Sunday. That's when Chris Hand joins Kent for This Week in Jacksonville. That's at 9 a.m. on air, online, and on our streaming app, News4Jax Plus.